Well, it has been months since back-to-back hurricanes slammed into parts of Florida, but in Pinellas County, the struggle continues. Now, Fox News' Sarah Allegre is live from Redington Beach, Florida. And Sarah, for some people, their rebuilding has really been anything but simple. What are they telling you that they've experienced?
Simone, that's exactly right. A commonality that I'm hearing is, yes, these storms are long gone, but red tape, those delays and confusion are making recovery here feel out of reach. I talked to a number of people. I want to talk about the conversation I had with a public adjuster for the state of Florida. He says there's just this immense number of storm claims. It's part of the reason behind the backlog that we're seeing. But he also says there's a lack of insurance companies here in the state. There's a lack of contractors. There's a lack of adjusters as well, which is making the cleanup process, then we look into the future, the rebuilding process, very far away, out of reach. I also talked to a resident here. She's lived in this Redington Beach area for years, really since the 70s. On the night that Helene hit this area, she formed a group on Facebook called Rescue Pinellas, trying to kind of aggregate places where people needed to be rescued, where people needed help, and from then on it went from that day and moved on to the months looking like what's going to be years to come, where they're working on getting the best information they can out to a lot of these residents who were affected. Talking to the grassroots organizer, she says one of the big setbacks is FEMA, also working with private insurance, but she also says government bureaucracy. Here in Pinellas County, Florida, you're dealing with a lot of tiny towns within the county, several of them. And so with different townships comes different codes as well. And these codes are also ever changing. One moment it's XYZ, the other it's ABC. And so that's what a lot of these residents are dealing with. Confusion, as I said, delays and red tape.
Yeah, it has to be hard, of course, to deal with the changes, and then you have to rebuild, and then another process on top of the other. So, Sarah, some people also just moving forward on their own too, right?
Absolutely, because a lot of these residents have lived here for the past 40, 50 years. I mean, this is a generational neighborhood. This is where people plant roots and generations continue to grow. So I'm standing on a vacant plot of land. The person who owns this property, well, his home was completely wiped out by Hurricane Helene. As you said, Simone, he just feels he has to take matters into his own hands. What he's done, he has the knowledge, he has the experience. He's negotiated with a private contractor to rebuild 75 homes in this area on a fixed price that they negotiated. But they have plans to take that number even further, up to 200 homes. So we are seeing some positivity here, some optimism. These residents, they want to stay. They don't want to leave this area, especially when you're just born and raised here.
Yeah, in a place where they built so much. Sarah Allegre reporting in Pinellas County, Florida tonight. Thank you so much, Sarah.